Welcome back to another Scuttlebutt with Iveys family Factotum.
Yeah.
Boy, we started right off this morning.
Yeah. Yesterday you were very, very early.
Yeah.
Early bird without me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had to have a little heart to heart with the kiddo.
Yeah.
Someone decided she wanted to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, we've had this conversation before, and we told her there's no reason to do that. Well, she was still doing it, and ended up waking me up. Well, I won't say that she woke me up. I already woke up. We basically woke up at the same time. I had to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Right, old people problems. She has to get up too sometimes to use the restroom in the middle of the night. But anyway, as I was going to lay back down, said child decided she wanted to put, so she has these pants, right? It's, I don't know what you call it, grunge.
Yeah, they have all the little buckles on the
They
sides.
have all the buckles and buttons and chains and just like all that stuff, right?
But you're so over exaggerating.
It's whatever. Okay. But anyway, she wanted to wear those to school and they weren't fully dry yet. So 4:30 in the morning, she decides to put these back in the dryer, and it sounds like there's a 50-pound bag of rocks in the dryer just going like. So I'll say as I'm laying there, I'm not able to fall back to sleep. So yeah, and then just other things, right? So I basically stayed awake. I said, hey, we're gonna have a talk when you get home from school. Right? I wasn't gonna say anything right in the moment, and because I wasn't. Yes, I was upset, but not upset, if that makes sense.
It's too early in the morning.
It's just early, right? I hadn't had any coffee yet, just any of that stuff. So, and then yesterday, I was trying to beat the heat, so I went outside at like 7:37. It's like right around 7 o'clock. It's pretty much after, kiddo was already gone, bus was already come and gone, so I knew it had to be after 7. But I was still trying to beat the heat to work on the Jeep.
Oh yeah, he did something.
So she bought new brakes for the Jeep, new front brakes, right? Because they needed to be, at least the pads changed.
Yeah, but I would like the whole thing changed. But yeah, we couldn't do that.
Yeah, she wanted, well, the calipers are brand new. So we didn't have to like replace calipers, the rotors, right? But she went ahead and bought the kit that came with new rotors, even though the rotors are on there are so good. But it's always nice to have backups, right? That way you can put new ones on, go get the old ones like resurfaced if they need to be resurfaced, which they probably don't need it. They look amazing because they're all slotted and drilled and all that, if you know, right? But the pads were definitely worn out. Because they have like a little indicator on the pads. And it's a little chirp indicator, and it'll let you know that, hey, if that little indicator tab is touching your rotor, it's going to chirp at you. And that's what it's for. It's meant to let you know that those need to be replaced. Well, I spent almost an hour looking for a socket. One socket. She even came out and helped me look. I was like, I can't find this thing nowhere. So it's
what was it, a 21?
20. It's either a 20 or 21. Which I don't have either.
Wait, I thought we had a 20.
No. So, I know there's neither one. But I'm quite certain. So, like you look up the size of the bolt, right, per manufacturer, it's supposed to be an 18. But 18 is too small. It doesn't fit. So I'm like, well, that's not true. Okay, so it has to be at least a 21. And I knew that I've had this stuff set aside to be able to work on a Jeep because I've replaced actually the rotors that are on there right now.
We've replaced them.
I put them on there. So I know for a fact that I had that socket before because I've done the work before.
Yeah.
So I'll say spending an hour trying, obviously I got other stuff going and got tires and stuff off and, the Jeep and everything jacked up within that hour, right? I wasn't just strictly looking for a socket for an hour. But going through, did all that, And then I basically told her, I was like, hey, I can't find this. She came out and helped me look. But I'm not going to be able to replace the rotors because I can't get the bracket off to be able to pull the rotor off. The caliper bracket. So with that being said, right, all I could do was just the pads.
Child's okay.
Yeah, because and I told her, I was like the old rotors and everything, they look perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. There's no, because you always want to look and make sure they're not like grooved or have, you know.
Now, can we check those in the back tires, or can we not? That's another thing I wanted to see, because I know that.
Well, I know the pads need to be replaced. Yes.
Well, for sure, and those can be replaced. It's the other ones that cannot without them interfering, right? Because of the bolts or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing of being able to remove the caliper bracket. Because what she's talking about is what, 3 years ago now? 4 years ago?
Oh, God. It was when we were in Virginia still.
Yeah, so, taking a trip to Texas.
It was,
and we've talked about this before.
Yeah, it was about four years, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah. So they jimmied that, or not jimmied it, but they, put something there that's a little more permanent to help get us on our way. And that's been there forever because I've never changed it.
The bolt fell out.
Yeah.
That holds the caliper bracket. And obviously it was a weekend, it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
The guys weren't able to fix it. They didn't have the part on hand. It was an actual shop.
But they said, you know what? We will do this without having to charge you because...
Yeah, he knew our situation, and he said, well, he said, I can fix it. I'm not going to charge you because it's not the actual thing. So it's actually a wheel stud that got put in there along with some Loctite and who knows what else to actually hold it in there. And I know that it's going to be a booger to get that thing out. That's why I've said I don't want to have to deal with that. But the other bolts that hold only the shoes.
Yeah.
Right, I would be able to, well, not necessarily, because back brakes, this does have disc brakes, but it has a disc brake for the actual stopping, but then it has a drum brake for the emergency brake. So I won't be able to take that out to check any of the emergency brake stuff, but for the actual braking, I can replace just the pads, the shoe pads on the system, because that bolt, those are still easy to get out. So, yes, I could definitely do that. But
on the first ones, on the front ones, he didn't have enough coffee in his system, and he didn't eat. So
yeah, I didn't eat breakfast.
He was playing Ring Around the Rosies with the front ones, putting them in, taking them off, putting them in, taking them off, saying, "Oh, I forgot this," taking them off, putting them back in.
Normally, the whole thing only takes like an hour. Normally, it only takes me about an hour to do. It turned out to be almost 5 hours. Plus, like I said, I was trying to go out there and beat the heat before the sun actually came up. So I didn't finish until almost noon. So it was already,
Normally he's good at
not
it.
the hottest part of the day, but I just could not think straight.
You woke up too damn early.
Yeah, the passenger side, I basically had to do 3 times.
The front passenger,
and that's including taking the wheel back off again to go in there and change stuff, and it's
the pads. It was the pads. That was one of the problems. That he opened up the box, he saw the front pads and the rear. Oh well, what was it? The front and the other end of it.
Yeah, because to me, like I don't know what I was thinking.
2 pads, right? So yeah, he had. One of them didn't have the marker. The other one did. But
the tattletale. So it's like whenever you look at brake pads, right, you're going to have one pad that has a tattletale. It's just a little piece of bent metal that comes around.
Yeah.
And then another one doesn't. And that should be on that. Those are basically pairs, right? So one with a tattletale, one without. Well, these are actually a high performance pad. So more of like for racing. So I was like, well, if it's racing, because whenever I open it up, right, they had 2 pads sticking on top of each other like this, and then they had two others sticking on top of each other like this, and then they were basically plastic wrapped inside of a box. So whenever I opened the box, open up the plastic wrap, I take out one stack, right, that were together, a pair, and neither one of them had a tattletale. I'm like, oh wow, I guess this high performance pad doesn't come with a tattletale.
He assumed, which made an ass out of him.
Yeah, made an ass out of you and me, right? So it just all it did was make an ass out of me and me. So but I took that out. And I was like, oh well, no coffee, little sleep, right? I was like, well, I guess this one didn't have that. So I installed both those pads on the passenger side, and in doing said, right, because you have to be able to recompress the caliper. That way it fits because, right, the caliper is pushed out because the old pads are thin, right? Mm-hmm. Well, whenever you're putting in thicker pads, you need to be able to push that caliper back in. And in doing said, right, I kind of twisted it to be able to get the C-clamp and stuff on there and to be able to do that. Well, I ended up twisting that the wrong way, putting it back on. So it allowed the hose to kind of go back the wrong way. And
he didn't know that.
There's another like sensor, right, that kind of goes to the front wheel and everything. So it has a wire that goes along with the hose, right? And I disconnect those to make it easier to move stuff around without, braking sensors and stuff like that. Well, I didn't put those back.
At that point, he didn't know. All he did was put the pads on, and that was it.
Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking about the sensors. I just put the pads in, and then put it all back on, put the tire back on, and started going around to the other side. And then that's when it dawned on me, dang, I did not put that wire back on. I was like, I'll just turn the tire to be able to do that later. And then I was like, all right, because I was thinking about it, but I did forget it. But I started to do the driver's side, and then I pulled those brake pads out. Both of these have the tabs on. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I ended up having to go back around, take that pad chute back out, and it's the one on the inside, right, closest to the engine is normally the one that has the little tattletale. So you got to take the wheel back off, got to take that shoe back out, and then, right, so you got to take everything apart, the bolts out, take that out. Still, at this point, right, I'm taking that shoe out, and it still did not dawn on me that even though I'd already said that I needed to fix that wire, that I put the shoe in with the tattletale, and then I just put it right back together again without fixing the wire, right? So, and I do that, and then I go back over to the driver's side, and I'm doing that one and putting it all back together. And as I'm putting that one back together, and I realized that, I had to turn this around, that way I could put all the wires back in. That's when it dawned on me that, hey, I didn't do that on the passenger side again. So I had to go back around to the passenger side and do it for the third time of taking everything apart and flipping it around to put it back in. That way the wires would line up. I'm like,
lack of sleep and
oh my goodness. Coffee. Yeah. So 5 hours later, I got the brakes done. But someone also asked me yesterday that she was having a check engine light. Yeah, it was
yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Yeah, I was going to pick up
Sunday.
My kiddo from her girlfriend's house, and the light engine came on, and I was like, okay. So as I was driving, I would lower the music, put the windows down, and I had the AC on, right? And I could hear everything. So I was like, maybe if I turn this AC off. Let's see. I turned the AC off, and it didn't make that much of a shaky noise or anything. So I was like, maybe it's the AC. So I called him, and I told him, hey, there's a problem with the AC probably. Either it needs coolant or something, right? Because every time I turn it on, it makes this shaky noise on the engine or something, and then turn it off. So I don't know what it was. So that's what I thought it was, but yesterday he checked the codes.
Yeah, so I have a code reader, right? The OBD2 reader.
Yeah.
Put it in there. It has a misfire on cylinder 4. Well, this thing has, 118,000 miles on it. It still has the original spark plugs.
Yeah,
and the original coils. And even though it's a Jeep, she drives it like it's a Formula 1 race car.
What?
So
Anyways, I mean, yes, we're having all these Jeep problems, but it's because it already needs the updates. It needs stuff changed, the maintenance done.
yeah, it hasn't been
You
done.
you can't be just saying, okay, we get it. Jeeps love,
Jeeps are expensive to
are
maintain.
expensive to maintain, but it has been how many years? Almost 10 years. Well, 10 years actually. It is 10
It
years.
has been 10 years.
10 years of not that much maintenance at all. All I needed was brakes, right? Not like real
Yeah.
maintenance. So when it's happening, it feels like, oh my god, you have all these expenses to do. But if you look at the big picture, it was due for maintenance.
Yeah, it's definitely due for
It
maintenance.
was due for maintenance.
But I mean, any vehicle once it reaches that 10-year mark, it doesn't matter what it is, right? You have to maintain it. It's going to have preventative maintenance that you have to do, right? Changing your oil, changing spark plugs when you're supposed to change spark plugs. Which for this one, you have to like take apart the engine to get to the driver's side. So you have to like take off the upper intake and stuff. Well, for this one, we already knew that we had an oil leak on an engine part. So underneath the intake, because the intake on these Jeeps is two parts. So you have an upper part and a lower part, and then it has an engine oil cooler underneath that, and then that's where the oil filter goes, which is on top of the engine. Weird, right? Almost every other engine out there, the engine oil filter is towards the bottom. I don't know. Well, Jeeps are weird. Or this Jeep engine is weird, right? So that part actually leaks, and we knew that. We've known that for a while.
He bought the part.
I have the part for that.
Yeah.
It is, I'm not a mechanic, and I know that this is our only vehicle, and I was kind of afraid that, hey, I don't want to do this in the event that something happens and we need to go somewhere to get something else.
Yeah.
Right? Well, now it's gotten to the point to where I have to change out these spark plugs and coils, and I have to start taking the engine apart, the top of it. I was like, well, if I'm doing that anyway, and I have to replace this other part,
Might as well.
I might as well go ahead and just do everything. So I'm going to spend today, I'm probably going to take y'all with me over on the main channel, not here, but the main channel, y'all.
Yeah.
And just spend a day of trying to fix the Jeep. Well, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to fix the Jeep.
Gonna fix it. Yeah.
But I don't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take it apart and do all these parts, which I've done the YouTube university thing of seeing exactly what I need to do and whatnot. Even going out there and looking, because there's like for the intake part, like some of the bolts and stuff that are on the side that is supposed to have nuts on there. Some of those nuts are already missing. So I'm like, this has already been off before. I've never taken it off. So I don't know if possibly some of the things that we've had to do with it in the past, like up at the shop,
Yeah.
like Firestone, I don't think they put stuff back on because it's missing.
Yeah, because all they did. Well, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
probably.
Who knows? Maybe it could be here. It could have been Virginia. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I know I've never taken that off,
No.
and those bolts are definitely missing.
Yeah. No.
But, and because we've already said that this vehicle was actually going to go to the kiddo, and we sat down and talked with her and talked to each other, and
I don't think my kid would be able to maintain the maintenance on this Jeep. So I don't know if we're going to turn it in and get her just a car. So we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
it's kind of up in the air right now.
I don't know.
We're thinking of trying to lay out all the pros and cons.
Yes.
Of hey, is it going to be worth it? To have this be her first vehicle, even though it's 10 years old, to be able to maintain it, right? Obviously, we know that we would have to be the one doing the maintenance. We would have to be the ones paying to get it fixed in the event that something breaks. And would it be worth it to just trade it in for a cheaper car that's new, something brand new, or at least even if it's something used,
dependable car. But yes.
yeah, something under 50,000 miles. So we're still kind of going through and checking all that out.
Just doing the pros and cons. Yep. Y'all tell us what y'all think too. In case we're overseeing something.
Yeah.
Or,
because I know,
something or...
because obviously I like actually looking at Carvana and a few other things like that, right? Because for one, they do like the 150 point checks, and they look at everything. They'll deliver it directly to us. Some of them you have to pay a fee.
No, we're not sponsored.
Some of you do not. No, we're not sponsored by them.
Just looking at them.
But just being able to check stuff, right, and do things. And looking up other stuff, right? Because I also follow a guy on Instagram that is a mechanic, been a mechanic for over 20, almost 30 years, right? And he actually goes in and will talk about cars, to stay away from, which one of them was the truck that I had, right? The 3-valve Ford F-150s. Stay away from those things. They're garbage, right? That's one of the, because that's actually where I first started following him, because he was talking about that truck.
Yeah.
And then, but he also talks about cars, especially for the beginner cars for kids and stuff like that. And, one of them was a Toyota Corolla, which is a very, very nice car. And it's even a used, back to like 2012 type. And, they're cheap to maintain and things like that. So, it's kind of going through and just looking at different stuff.
They have a lot of them that are 2022, 2024 that would be easy to trade in for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if we're going to trade something, we would prefer to have it be just like a 1-to-1, to where we don't have to have a monthly payment on anything, because this thing's been paid off for a while now.
Yeah, for a long time.
So we don't want to have another car payments.
Yeah.
Seeing how I do want to get a truck.
Not unless it's our car payment, yes.
Yeah.
Not our kids' car payment.
Because I am looking at getting another truck. We've already talked about that, right? There's still stuff kind of behind the scenes that we haven't talked about that's going on this month.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting to see what those results are. I have a new appointment coming up this coming Monday. So hopefully we'll find out some better news. Otherwise, we have to wait until next Friday. And then after that, I should be able to know, looking forward to be able to go get another truck. So by the end of this month, I will know, definitively, yes or no, if I can go get another vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's what we're waiting on, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been, roller coaster ride. Roller coaster ride of emotions.
But hopefully it'll come to an ending for that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. So we will see what happens.
Woo-hoo.
Other than that, I do need to get dressed, get out there and get busy. It's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter outside.
Yeah. It is. And I'll meet you out there when I'm done with the kid.
Yeah, she needs to get doing schoolwork with the kiddo. A few other things that I like to throw out too is get over to our bonfire store. We actually have a few campaigns going on right now for the tractor shirt.
Yeah.
Right? We also have, she also made a few
golf towels or
towels. They're like sweat towels, or like, they have like a little clip on them, like you can hang from a golf bag or just stuff like that. Definitely go check those out. We had so our member over on the main channel, Miss Kathy, thank you. She's the one that voted for the name. Because I said, even if there's only one member that voted, it's fine. But she's the one that voted in Ginger. And she's like, I don't even like that name. And I know you don't like that name either. I was like, no, I'm fine with it. So, with that being said, that is going to stay the name. And those products are there. And we thank you for that. But those campaigns are going on right now if you like to jump in on it. Okay, and then obviously once they're done, everything will get shipped out and such. And then, I was also surprised too that, because we had did something with, what was that spray stuff.
Oh yeah, strike hold.
The strike hold lubricants. A while back, and you'd have to go over to the main channel, and I mean, you could probably search it and whatnot on our channel. But we actually got our first commission check from that. I was like, I mean, it was only $4, but I was like, hey, that's cool. People are still buying this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great product. So definitely get over there, check it out.
Dad used it a lot until it was like gone.
Yeah, I'm all out. I actually need to go buy some more myself. It's a very good product. But yeah, so thank y'all for that. You know, it's obviously without y'all, we would not be getting those things. So it's definitely greatly appreciated. And still, share us out, help us grow, because we are still devoting, once we become monetized on this channel, that we're all earnings, 100% earnings we get from this channel, from y'all, is going to help the veterans.
For how many months again?
So a little over 2 years.
Yep.
Yep, it'll be 31 months total. So definitely get out there, share us out, help us grow. It's greatly appreciated. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Time to get this day going
All
before
right.
it gets hotter.
Well then, last but not least,
always thank a veteran at every chance you get.
not only on Veterans Day.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Later, friends.